Hi, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I'm Courtney. How the heck are ya? Do you notice that I changed my intro a little bit because I always say, and welcome to another episode, and I say it like, ugh, this bitch, So I had to change it like another, like, fuck yeah, we're doing this, right? We're doing this. Hi, hello, welcome. Welcome to the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney. How the heck are ya today? I can say I'm doing A-okay. I am on a walk again, like I always am when I'm doing a podcast, because why not? Actually, in all honesty, I didn't feel like doing a podcast, if I'm being for real. I wanted to listen to a podcast. I was going to listen to one, and my Bluetooth is being an ass and is not working. And I can't do it on speaker because there's a boatload of people out, and my speakers on my phone have been having issues. And I didn't want everybody to have to be listening to me, and there's quite a few people out and about. And then I thought, well, do I want people to listen to me talking into my phone? Because that's probably even more obnoxious. But then I thought, well, I'll make it work, But then on top of all of that, I was like, I don't even have a topic for me to talk about. So why in the hell am I doing a podcast right now? I don't know. I always do podcasts when I have, well, not always. There are many times I have a topic in mind and I know what I'm going to talk about and there's something I want to talk about. But there have definitely been numerous times where I am just winging it and I have no flipping idea what I'm talking about or what I'm going to talk about. I often don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just kidding. Actually, I do. I don't know why I said that, because I am a researcher. I go through and I research things, and I usually, if I don't know what I'm talking about, I'll be like, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't try to sound like I know the answers if I don't, Like right now, I started this podcast and now I'm sitting here going, I don't really know if I should continue on with this because I don't have a hell of a lot to talk about, but I can say this. I have not been on social media for quite some time. I needed a break. I needed to be able to, I want to be informed. I want to know what's going on in the world for sure. But I don't think that TikTok is the way to get it. I don't think Instagram and YouTube and Facebook is where you get your information, So I need to watch the news, and I am very good about watching liberal and conservative, although there's only like one conservative news station. That's why AI really pisses me off, because I asked AI this once and I'm like, listen, I'm a logical person. I know this can happen. If all the coders out there are liberal and you start out coding something in the beginning, you can code things to be biased. But then if you code it to gather all information, whether it is Republican, Democrat, Catholic, Jehovah Witness, and, atheist, that's great. The problem is it gathers information from the internet. And if the majority of the internet is liberal, and the majority of the internet has information from one standpoint, then it is going to be biased, even if it's AI, because it's gathering information from all sources. But if the majority of the sources out there are from one political party, because let's face it, the only conservative resources right now are Glenn Beck, Ben Shapiro, Fox, the Daily Wire and the Blaze and Fox. That's it. There are like 3 places to pull from. Every single thing else is liberal. Very liberal. Very, 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 very liberal, to the point that their ratings are tanking because they never get anything accurate. So, to me, and then when schools are biased, and schools are also twisting information and giving kids opinions and not facts, and they're interpreting facts instead of giving facts, that's a problem. And so it's frustrating because I haven't been wanting to be on the internet because it's so negative right now, and I want to be able to not bury my head in the sand, and I want to be educated. I want to know what's going on. But who am I finding that out from? You know, who do I believe? Because I'm not saying that conservatives are right all the time. Nobody is. They're humans. A human is not correct all the time. If you're a human, you're not correct all the time. If you're a human, you're going to be wrong. And so I want to be informed. I don't want to bury my head in the sand, but I just felt like I was getting way too cranky and pissed off. And now we know when I'm out and about and I'm around actual people that are in front of me that I can see with my own eyes and, touch if I wanted to. Everyone has been saying hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be. They smile. I mentioned this on one of my podcasts. The person behind the desk at a store I went into was like, you have a blessed day, and was very, very kind and positive and sweet. And, you see on the internet all these cranky people that are freaking out. And of course, those exist. Those people exist. And you see the people that bully and threaten people's lives and protest and are crazy. And yes, those things are going on in the world. Yes, there is chaos going on. Yes, there's a war going on. But I also wanted to remind myself that there's good, There are also good people. There are also people that are happy and kind and respectful and want to help and want to be contributing members of society and are hard workers and genuinely care about others, I needed that break, and I still haven't got on social media. I still haven't checked my accounts because I can't look at the world so cynical. I do, again, realize bad things are going on, and I have to accept that and know it and understand, me accepting that and knowing that, what does that mean? Does that mean I'm going to take part in helping? And how can I help? Am I going to be part of the solution? What is the solution? What am I trying to help with? Am I trying to educate someone on Iran, on Israel? Am I trying to educate someone on, their history? Like, what am I trying to do? How can I take part? How can I help? Do I want to help? Or do I just want to right now say, there isn't anything I can do to help? I can have my feelings. I can have my opinion on Iran and Israel and America and France and, all of Europe, which I do have an opinion on that. And here it is. Again, sorry, Europe, I'm going to pick on you guys again because you're frustrating. You're very frustrating. Here's why. So Iran is this basically bully that just wants to bully and go, we're not letting any of your oil tankers go through the Strait of Hormuz unless you pay us. So you give us your lunch money. They're the big bully that's like, give me your money or we're not going to let you through. And then Europe was like, okay, fine. We'll give you that money. We'll let you through. Well, the problem with that is a couple of things. One, that's not how you win over a bully. You try to talk to a bully, which we've already done. We've already tried to negotiate with Iran. For many years now, we have been trying to negotiate and work with Iran. And they're like little chihuahuas that just won't fucking quit. And they have no desire or will to negotiate. So we were like, listen, we need to figure out something because we're getting real tired of you threatening our lives. Because that is what they do. People have been forgetting, Europe, that Iran has been threatening America and Israel for a very, very long time, and they threaten everybody. That's what they do. They are terrorists. The Iranian regime are a bunch of terrorists, and you don't negotiate with terrorists. And we've negotiated with them for a long time, and now we're like, hey, Europe, we don't want to negotiate with these guys anymore. We don't want to pay them money. We don't want to pay them our lunch money. We don't want to pay money to allow our oil tankers to go through. They can go F themselves. They've been taking advantage of us for a long time. They have been saying they're going to kill us for a long time. They've been threatening America for a long time. We don't want anyone to have to pay them. You guys, Europe, should not have to be paying them. That's ridiculous that you're caving in, Europe. And so you're caving in also to people that are going to use that money that you guys are paying. You guys have agreed to pay Iran money. Do you know what that money goes to? Harming Americans. It goes against a war. It goes for a war against America. So Europe, you are now contributing to Iran coming after us. And then you're mad at us because your oil is more expensive. We said, hey, get involved. Let's not cave to these bullies. Let's not pay these bullies, Europe. If you come in with us and we get together and all of us gang up on this bully and say enough is enough. We've had it. We've tried to negotiate. We've tried to be peaceful. We've tried to work it out. You've been a bully. You've made it very clear that you want to unalive all Americans and anybody that doesn't agree with you. You are a terrorist country. So we've tried. You're not listening. Hey, Europe, let's band together and let's take these MFers out. Let's put them in a chokehold and say, hey, remember, we're tougher than you, so you should probably listen. We're going to hurt you a little because we tried to be kind and we tried not to hurt you and we tried very hard to negotiate without causing any issues. You didn't listen, so now we hurt you. Now you're still not wanting to listen, and Europe never wanted to get involved, and now Europe's bitching and moaning because their oil's more expensive. Well, you are contributing now to that money that you're deciding to pay the bully the lunch money of because you've bowed down, because you tucked your tail between your legs, because you're a bunch of sissy wussies, and you're like, no, we're just going to, whatever you want, Iran, you terrorist country who's trying to kill America, we'll fund you that. We'll help you kill Americans. We'll help fund you killing American people. We'll just help that by giving you money. That is what Europe is doing, and then now is mad at us because their oil is more expensive. Well, it didn't have to be. They could have got in on the action and taken out Iran with us. They could have got in and helped us with Iran, and they didn't want to because they never do, because they're useless to us. I'm not saying the people of the country, but I am 100% saying that all of Europe is ran by people that claim that they're so virtuous and so wonderful and help others and put others first, when they're socialist countries that all of their money goes back to their own country, the people of their own countries. It doesn't go to other countries. You guys don't help other countries. We help you. You don't help America. We literally get absolutely no benefit whatsoever from France, from Germany, from Greece, from Italy. You guys, I'm sorry, are useless to America. I'm not saying the people. I have nothing against the people from those countries, but your governments serve nothing. You've never helped us. You don't do things for us. We have to constantly help you guys out. And then you act like you're righteous and virtuous because your teeny tiny itty bitty countries can run on being socialist countries because you're small and teeny. And that doesn't work for America, but your countries benefit your own countries. You guys don't benefit other countries. All of your taxes go to you. You guys don't help other people. You don't fund other people. You don't go to bat for others. You tuck your tail between your legs. And then you sell America out and help Iran want to unalive us. You give money to a country that hates us because you're too weak and cowardly and you don't want to help America. You never do. But boy, do you need our aid. And boy, do you want us to protect you. It's very frustrating. Again, I'm not talking about the people. I've been to France. I've been to Paris. Hated it. Absolutely overrated. So overrated. The Eiffel Tower is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's a hunk of metal that does nothing for me. And I thought it was dumb. The people were incredibly rude. Never have I met ruder people than in Paris. Graffiti all over the subways. Yeah. But again, I'm sure I've heard the countryside is beautiful. It looks beautiful. And I'm not talking about all the people. I'm just saying I have a lot of friends who lived in France for like years, spoke impeccable French, and were treated like garbage and said they hated it and they don't want to go back. And yet people talk about Americans. And I'm like, oh, go fuck yourself. When you can run your own country, when your country is running well and a smooth oil machine, you can knock on America. So Canada, Australia, France, Germany, England. England's another one. You guys just sit there and talk all kinds of smack about how you're not going to stand with America. You're not going to stand with America, and you don't condone what Trump is doing. Okay, well, we'll remember that when you guys stick your foot in your mouth and these Muslims take over and your entire country, which it already is, it's already being consumed by the Islamic religion. And you guys are going to be really up shit creek. And you know who you're going to be crying to? Trump. You are 1,000%, all of these countries that are allowing Muslims to take over are 1,000% going to be crying to America after you guys did nothing to help America out. You did nothing. You sold us out. You gave money. You agreed to give them $2 million, to give Iran $2 million. You sold out to the bullies, and you funded them taking us out. And then you're going to turn around and ask us for help when your countries go to shit. Canada, Australia, France, England, because you all love the socialist way of life. And now you apparently, though, want to be... you want the Islamic faith to take over, so then you want to be, I guess, Muslim, and you want Sharia law to exist. So your countries are already showing signs of how that doesn't work, and then you're all going to come crying to us, the same country that you guys claim is so terrible and horrible. Yet you all want a vacation here. You know you all want to live here. So it's frustrating. And again, I have people listening to my podcast from all countries, and so I'm not speaking about the people, I'm speaking about the way the government that these countries are ran by. They're terrible. I'm sorry, but they are. And our president has the cojones to stand up for America, even if that means that we suffer for a bit. Because it's funny to me how we all talk about how we don't want kids in China, we don't want to pay a lot for our cell phones, and we don't want to pay a lot for our clothes and all of that. Well, in order for that to happen, we are getting things made by literal child labor, by little kids in sweatshops in China that are working their fingers literally to the bone, getting paid pennies so that we as Americans can have things for a lot cheaper. So we claim that we care about children, and we claim that we don't want slavery. And we're like, slavery's bad. But yet you want illegal immigrants to stay and work in what you guys say, in your words, not my words, because I've looked it up and they actually make a lot of money. Field workers actually make a lot of money. But according to you guys, liberals, they don't make a lot of money. And they need to stay here and to work in the hot sun, your guys' words, and not make a lot of money. So you want them to be slave labor and do horrible jobs that you don't like, because that would mean that you would have to do them. Also, you want your cell phones and your shirts and stuff, your Walmarts. You want your Walmarts, because you can't have your Walmarts without child labor. You can't have your iPhone be $2,000. It would be something like $4,000 if you didn't have child labor in China. So right now, little kids are working their fingers to the bone, and I'm doing it. I'm going to Walmart. I have an iPhone that, I paid whatever for. I don't know. It's on a plan, but I'm doing it too. So I'm not excluding myself. I'm just saying it's funny how we can say that we care, and no slavery. But all these same people have no problem shopping at Walmart and, buying their iPhones for a lot cheaper. Now, if we were really into no slavery, we would say, all right, we're going to buy American products only. And we're going to cut ties with China. And we're going to make everything here in America. which would be awesome. But at first, it would cost a fortune. Things would skyrocket at first. It'd take quite a while, I think, for it to write itself out. And we would have to truly, like when we bought a phone, that phone would be our phone forever. And when we bought a TV, that TV would be our one TV forever. And our clothes would be, we'd have to definitely manage our money a lot better and appreciate things better, and things would cost triple, at least double of what they do now. So I'm just saying, people like to act like they're righteous and great and put other people down, but really, that's we're all sorry. I'm going up a hill again, and I'm winded. I don't really know where I was going with that, actually, to be honest. I had a path that I was going on. I was committed to that conversation, and I was going somewhere with it. And, Iran, other countries, oil, other countries being wussies, and then acting like America's so terrible. But I'm sorry, again, socialism doesn't work in a gigantic country like America. It just doesn't. But don't act like, as a socialist country, you literally only care about yourself, and all your money is literally only going to you and only going to help the people in your country. And yet you want to talk about how great and holier than thou you are, but those same countries don't even defend America against Iran and sell us out so that Iran can have money to take us out. And then you're mad at us because your oil prices are more expensive. Well, how about you stop tucking your dick in and stop taping it in, and you actually grow a pair? How about you stop tucking it and taping it, and you fling that thing out and, throw those balls on the table and go, hey, no, it's not what we're going to do, Iran. Here's what we're going to do. Instead, you're going to shut the fuck up because you're insignificant, because you're an ant, and we don't want to obliterate you. We don't want that, but we can, and you know that we can, and you know that you're insignificant. I don't mean the people of Iran. I'm not talking about the people of Iran. Again, I'm never talking about the people. Except, again, most of you that live in France seem like kind of assholes. You guys need to step up your game. You all seem pretty fucking assholey, according to every person I've ever met that's ever been to Paris. Seems like they've been treated like garbage if they're American. Anyway. So, maybe Paris should step it up a little bit, Same with New Orleans, by the way. What the fuck is up with you, New Orleans? Bunch of assholes there, too. Man, never in my life I've been treated so crappy. But I just don't get, how countries can be such wusses and then make poor decision after poor decision, and then they made their beds, they're lying in it, and they're complaining about it. And they're like, I don't understand. Why is our country going to crap? Well, because you made poor choices. And then told everybody else we were assholes because we told you not to do those things. America's like, hey, probably shouldn't let Muslims take over. That's not good. That's not a good, be quiet, you bigot, racist Americans. You horrible, horrible Americans. No, really, it's not a good idea. Be quiet, you horrible people. Okay, so now, look what's happening. It's not good. You can sit there and act like it's good. You can act like it's not a big deal, but it very much is. If you look into the history of the Islamic faith, if you look into what Sharia law is, it is not a good thing. And there is massive history and documentation to prove that. This is a fact. This is a factual thing that the Islamic faith has just ruined cultures, has gone in and just ruined countries. The Muslims have taken over and ruined countries, and they say it in their videos. They admit it. They go out when they say Allah Akbar, death to America, and they make videos. They make social videos saying flat out that they hate us and wish death upon us and are going to kill us. They say what they're going to do, and these countries like England, like Canada, like Australia, just scoff it off like, oh, hee, that's funny. They don't mean it. How cute. Oh, look at the sweet, adorable, accepting, non-judgmental, peace-loving the Islamic faith is just so peace-loving and non-judgmental. No, it isn't actually. In fact, it's incredibly it's incredibly violent and judgmental and not peaceful at all, not loving at all, not accepting at all. It is the polar opposite of those things. So no, America is not bad for not wanting illegal immigrants to take over, specifically Muslims or Somalis. Sorry, but the Somalian people have also ruined our country. They have partaken in ruining our country. They have reaped benefits while committing fraud, while committing crimes. And it's not okay. And people absolutely find this okay too. It's like, for some reason, finding fraud is a bad thing. That's very strange to me. Why is finding fraud a bad thing? I've never understood that. I don't see how that could be a thing, you know. But anyway, it's very frustrating. I don't understand how you can be mad at people like Nick Shirley and Doge because they were like, hey, there's some people here, our politicians and, you know, this group of people that happen to be Somalian. That's not being racist. It just happens to be true. It happens to be a fact that there are a lot of Somalian people that are in America committing fraud. That's just a fact. Sorry that it is. That's not a racist thing. Facts aren't racist. Sorry. They just aren't. They're just facts. And so, again, saying that we don't want those things is not bad. Saying we don't want our tax money going to anything other than what we vote on it to go to, you know, other than our own legal citizens, that's not a bad thing. And to say it is just you trying to be cool, trying to get clicks. You don't have friends. You're not an educated person if you're like, no, you should want fraud. You should want fraud. Okay, so then when someone goes into your bank account and commits fraud, don't you dare report that. Because that's racist. If you report anybody using your credit card or committing ID theft, ID fraud, you better not fucking report it. Because you'll be a racist. And you're a terrible, horrible phobe and a bigot and a Nazi and all these things that liberals like to call people that don't like fraud and don't like crime. They only care if a white person commits crime. They only care if a white person commits fraud. Then it's bad. So that's racist, actually. Just so you know, when you are making it okay for a certain race to behave a certain way, when you're making excuses for a certain race, that's called racist. I don't know if you're aware of that. God, everywhere I go, there's lawn. I can't get away from it. But that's called racist. And you're being one. But not liking fraud is like, again, if your bank account gets hacked into or your password gets hacked into, that means someone committed fraud. Someone committed a crime. And according to you, if you don't like that, you're a horrible, terrible, no good, very bad person. You're just an evil piece of crap. God dang it. But, you know, if you think that's racist, then you better not ever, you better hope that no one steals your information and uses your credit cards, because that's called fraud. And according to you, if you care about someone stealing thousands of dollars from you, you're a bad person, according to you. And I love that too. When you try to use the same logic on others that they use on you, they try to make excuses on how it's different for them. Oh, but it's different for me. Why? Why do you live by a whole different set of rules? Why is everything you do okay? Why do you shit out rainbows and everybody else is a bad person? Why is everybody else committing crimes, but you do the same thing and it's not a crime? Why is it that you can say things and it's not racist, but if other people say the exact same thing, it is? You know what I mean? Things that make you go, Things that make you go, Oh, God. More. Anyway, that's all I got. I really had no plan. I just got on here and started talking, and this is what you get. This is the product of that, okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Again, I don't care if you're from France and Canada. I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about that the countries never seem to have our back, and they're always like, we don't like America. And England's always like, Canada, England, and France are like, America, until they need our military, until they need our money. Then all of a sudden they're like, America, let me just give you a little massage, America. Can we just have a little foreplay? I love you, America. America, I was just kidding. I didn't mean it, America. I didn't mean it, boo. Yeah, fuck off. Seriously, you did mean it. You do mean it. But yet your countries aren't contributing shit. Well, Canada does. Canada contributes a lot more. But honestly, France and England, Germany, Greece, Italy, what? You guys have beautiful countries and good food, but what are you contributing? You know what I'm saying? To us, we literally don't need you. I want you around. Again, not talking crap about the countries, the people in it, just the government and how it's ran. We don't need it. You don't provide us with anything. In fact, you threw us under the bus to Iran. So honestly, go F yourself, for real. Like, all over the place, F yourself. But to everybody, else, hey, people that live in those countries, again, not speaking to you, just speaking to your government. Our government's not great. Our government has flaws. I talk smack about America all the time. Again, not about all of its citizens, just about some of its flaws, because nobody is perfect. I say it all the time. I don't care if you're a conservative. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're a Christian. I don't care. You're not perfect, and people are aware of that, So, on that note, I don't want to leave on a cranky note. I want to say, hey, you rock, and I appreciate you. And the fact that you've been listening to me, if you're still tuning in, that means the world to me, because I know I can go off on a tangent, and I know I can be kind of boring sometimes, especially when I have no rhyme or reason to what the fuck I'm talking about, So thank you for being patient. You rock. I appreciate it. It means the world to me. And I really would hope that you would tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a spouse, shout it from the rooftops, listen to the ramblings of an insomniac. That'd be awesome. But I'm not pressuring you. This is a no pressure. I don't pressure people. No peer pressure here. If you feel like it, it'd mean the world to me. But thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Can I say appreciate enough? Lord, that's when you know it's time for me to sign off. So I'm going to do that. Thank you, and until next time.